So welcome to the online learning lunch session one. The theme for this session is going to be let's talk about bandwidth. So what I've prepared for you is an example of high, medium and low bandwidth activities. And the low bandwidth activity is actually about bandwidth, okay? When I launch the activity, what it says is, have you considered bandwidth? Limited internet connectivity can be an important factor in determining what kinds of learning activities are suitable for students to participate in. Click to download the activity and then double click the downloaded file to start. So I'm clicking here and it's downloading the activity and then I'm double clicking the downloaded file. This is our example of a low bandwidth activity. And as you can see, can you see this reasonably clearly?
Not reasonably, but we can see it.
Yeah.
But it's not clear at all.
Yeah,
it's all flu, David. Every word has gone flu.
Interesting, interesting. Look, I think that's to do with connection speeds and things like that. I think that would be the main reason, okay?
From your end, because other things we share here, we were able to see.
Okay.
David,
Yes.
this can be a good example of low bandwidth scale.
This can, exactly. So internet meetings, like we're in now, webinars, that sort of thing, are one of the highest bandwidth requirements. They're one of the things that that needs the most bandwidth. And the more webcams and voices you share at one time, the higher the bandwidth requirement for them becomes. All right, so I'm going to click where it says click here to start. And we've got, in this activity, we've got examples and we've got something about dial-up, 3G, ADSL, and 5G or NBN as different levels of bandwidth that we might have. Which one would you like to go to first? Low bandwidth, medium, high?
I think all of us now are on NBN. I think all of Australia almost is on NBN, so we won't need the dial-up, the ADSL. They cancelled them, haven't they?
Well, in Australia, this is true. In urban Australia. Out in the bush, there are many people who are restricted to ADSL and 3G, and probably nobody's still on dial-up. Our students, on the other hand, many of those people are limited to 3G. When I was in India, it was very, very hard to find anywhere where you could get faster internet than 3G. And in other countries, we've had students in Africa and other places where dial-up is still used, or where very basic mobile phone networks at similar speeds to dial-up are used. So all of these levels need to be considered when we're thinking about the different kinds of activities that we create for our students to participate in, and also when we're communicating about whether a student is actually able to participate in a course that we've designed based on different levels of activity. All right, so the activity that I'm showing you now is one that would be suitable for dial-up. So I'll click on dial-up. So some examples of activities that work on a dial-up internet connection or a very slow internet connection are, yes, text-based decision-making activities like this one that we are in now, which is made with PPTSX, which is a PowerPoint show. Okay. these text-based decision activities, scenarios where the student has to read something and then give text input, yes, they work, obviously on dial-up, and text with pictures. Now, even pictures can be slow to load on this. Whereas if we were to go to the next level up, which would be 3G, which is probably what most of our students are on in India, they would be able to see low resolution streamed videos, 360p, that kind of resolution. They would be able to download small to medium sized files, like, for example, an activity that was like this, but it had some more advanced content in it, such as animations. That kind of activity would be fine for them. It is below the minimum recommended specification for Zoom. And Zoom is one of the main things we use in our teaching. Zoom recommends 1.5 megabits per second. And the speed of this is about 0.5 megabit per second. So it's about 1/3 of the recommended specification. But Zoom will work on that kind of connection if you restrict the use of webcams and screen sharing, and you focus mostly on voice, because voice is lower bandwidth than video. Okay. Now the next level up